Top of the morning. I hope that you guys had a prosperous week. I think I've been kicking these game pieces for about 30 days now. So what I want you pimps to do, I want you to check your progress. That's how I did it my way. I check my progress every 30 days. Some people check it every 60 days. Some people make it a 90-day window. But me personally, when you come to this pimping, every 30 days, you should be closer to your goal. Every 30 days, you should minimize the obstacles in your life and in this whole's life. You can't erase them. Obstacles ain't gonna never be go away. They gonna always be in a pimp's life, and they gonna always be in a square's life, and they sure gonna be in a hole's life. Your job as a pimp is to erase them obstacles. But I keep stressing this in every game piece that I put out. I don't care how long you've been in this game. If you've been in this game over 3 years, then I'm really talking to you. If you three deep or better, I'm really talking to you. If you too deep, I'm talking to you. Because if you pimping, soon you're going to be three deep. The object of this game is to acquire some hoes. What's going to make you grow in this pimping besides your knowledge, which you gaining that every day by being on that track? We're going to get to that for in a minute. But what I'm saying is that in this game, every day you're getting closer to your goal. Every day. But you can't measure it every day because you're spending money on this, you're spending money on that. But every month you sure can measure it every 30 days. Let's start off with the first one. Erasing them obstacles out of your way and out that hoe's way. That's number one right there. I'm going to get to the rest in a minute. But today, I want to kick this pimping. And I want you to ask yourself this question. And that's this right here. Are you pimping for real? How is your pimping? You doing it the way it's supposed to be done? Because if you've been pimping over 3 years, then you should be having stuff. You should be acquiring things. In life, just like in the pimping game, he who has the most toys wins and enjoys himself and get the bitches. Don't fool yourself. You hear a lot of pimps talking about, man, she just chose that nigga because he got the jewelry and he got the car. He got some hoes. The only reason she chose that nigga is how she looked. Because of how he looked. Pimping. Did you hear what the hell I just said? That's some game for you right there. You need tools in this game. You got to have tools in this game. So I'm gonna ask you that same question again. I'm gonna ask you in a different way. How can you tell? Okay, let's word it this way. How can you tell that you're about this game? The way you can tell that you're about this game, first of all, you've been in this game over 3 years. If you've been in this game over 3 years, you should at least be two deep. You really should be three deep. Come on, pimpin'. You've been in the game over 3 years. One of them hoes you probably didn't have for 3 years. If you didn't have the same hoe for 3 years, pimping, you ain't on your job. If you didn't have the same hoe for 3 years, and she ain't had no sisters in them 3 years, then you ain't been pimping, man. And you're real close to this game spitting your ass out. When I say one is too close to none, I really mean that, because just think about it. You got more than one hoe. You pimping. You using your skill. You using your conversation twice a day. You got one female. You have to run away from that hoe. You can't spend no, besides the time for the track, on the track, man, you can't spend all your time with the hoe. She already gonna fall in love, but without you pimping and giving that bitch some competition, just like you getting competition, you in competition every day in the pimping. Man, make sure you put that hoe in competition too. Make sure you get that bitch a sister so she can have some competition. Make sure every day after that hoe come in from work and you get to kicking that pimping with her, you get to telling her about, hey bitch, I'm at this hoe, I'm at that hoe, I'm putting in my work. Let that hoe see you getting at different bitches. Let them bitches come back. Walk by them bitches and let them bitches say, boy, that nigga ain't such car. He just keep fucking with me, this and that. Pimping, let them hoes see you putting in work, so they can put their doggone work in. See, the pimping game, yeah, you want it to go smooth on the hoe, but you don't want it to go too smooth. Man, pimping, sometimes you just got to make up some shit to get mad about. Or upset. Let's not say mad. Let's not even say angry. Because when a nigga get angry, then them hoes is a bunch of bitches. See, I ain't gonna even talk about using that word bitch. That's on pimping. Pimping can do that the way he want to do it. But when I used to pimp on a bitch, I just come with that suave when I use the word bitch. And I tell a bitch, hey baby, check this out right here. We having a conversation. We talking about each other. You want to get in the female's head, your girl's head, enough to damn near know what she thinking, to damn near know what she say. You supposed to know by looking at her and she give you a certain look, or she acting a certain way different. You supposed to know, and you supposed to attack it right away. Because something might went wrong. Pimping, that bitch might be thinking about leaving. That's why you talk to these hoes. That's why you talk to them before work, and you kick that pimping with them after work. Pimping, if you want some longevity out these hoes, get to know them. And this is how you know that you're about this game. Especially we talking about after 3 years. Because a lot of you motherfuckers in this game, what I'm saying is your average career is 5 years. Then you done made a little money, you done stacked a little money, probably got you a new car. You probably thinking, yeah, you probably know how to catch a bitch now. Yeah, you been in the game 5 years. You should know how to catch a bitch. Then you scared motherfuckers take the little game of knowledge you got, and then you run out. I'm not talking about you pimps that call yourself pimping and you getting in the game to get out. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking about these real pimps. Say pimping. I know sometimes it look dim. I know sometimes it get rough. But if you got a hoe, it should never get rough. Let me say that again. If you got a hoe, it should never get rough. You might not get where you want to be. Or you might not be where you want to be. But that's on you. You a pimp. A pimp means having hoes, collecting dough out them hoes. And the way I look at it is getting the money off that damn track. Using your wits. You in another world. How you know if you about this game? Because when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night, all you thinking about is what's going to be your next move. Your life is a whole lot smoother. You banked up. You've been pimping more than 3 years. You banked up. You got a car, if it ain't in the year, it's probably 3, 4, 5 years old. See, even with one bitch, you should never ride like under 5 years. I'm talking about if you rolling them caddies. Now those excuse me, foreign cars is a little different. But I'm talking about if you rolling caddy, man, you should be riding brand new every year or at least 5 years back. And you gotta have a pimp mobile pimping. If you've been in this game over 3 years, you better have a pimp mobile. And if you got one bitch, okay, I can see you, 5, 6 years back. But if you really pimping and you got your foot on that one bitch's neck, man, you got a car that's at least 5 years old, nothing under that. You want to know if you want to know how do you know if you're about this pimping? I'm telling you right now, you got to have your car in order. You've been pimping 3 years or better. I know you already got a place to live. I know you got a roof over your head. If you've been in this game 3 years or more and you got the same hoe and you don't have no apartment or a house that you living in, then you need to get this game up and go on back to that other world. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with squares. If it wasn't for squares, shit, pimps, we wouldn't get no money. But ain't nothing wrong with being a square. I like squares, especially the ones that become tricks. And another thing about squares, our life is designed around their life, but our life is just 10 times faster. Our dreams, we make our dreams come true. We ain't got to work no 30 years on the job and then retire and then start living our life when your body then got old and tired. But this is the way of the world. This is what makes a pimp special. How you know about it? If you waking up every morning with a bank and money in the bank, got you a nice ride that's worth some money, got you some nice jewelry that you've been investing your money in pimping. You've been pimping over 3 years. You're supposed to have some jewelry, man. And the first thing that a pimp should do, I know the first thing you want to do is buy a nice ring, nice medallion. But the first thing I bought in pimping, which is what my mentor Ginch taught me, he said, man, the first thing you buy you a nice flashy pimp watch, man. He said, because if you don't have no jewelry on your fingers and you got a fly watch on, that's going to be an eye catcher. So that was the first thing I did. But all I'm saying is this right here. You want to know if you about this pimping? After 3 years, you should have some jewelry that's worth at least 10, 20,000. If you remember in one of my other game pieces, I told you about knowing your worth. See, in this game, the game go fast. The money go fast. Your life go fast. Man, you look up, man, in this game, 10 years then flew by. And it's been one big party. But are you about this game? Check yourself. After 3 to 5 years pimping, I hope you got a nice ride. I ain't talking about none of that old shit. And another reason why a nice ride, a pimp mobile in this game is important, and it's an investment, and it's another way of you knowing if you're about this game, because you got your money in it. You got the pink slip. You've been in this game 3 to 5 years. You got a vehicle. If it's brand new, I can understand paying some car notes. But 4 or 5 years old, you better have a pink slip to that motherfucker right there. If not, you need to check your pimping. How you know about it? If you about it, after 3 years, you got that pink slip. You got your jury established. You got an apartment for each one of these hoes. Pimping. I know it make a pimp feel good to have all the hoes all in the same spot. Or you get the house, you got all the hoes in the house. All that's cool. But it just don't have to be that way. It's what works for you. For me, I like that individuality when I got more than one bitch. I like to have them separate so I can stick my key in each one of them's door and walk in and be like, man, I'm progressing. I got these hoes a car. It ain't got to be no new car, but you got the pink slip. Make sure the car worth some money. So you got these hoes an apartment. You got them a car. You got these hoes some jewelry. See, on that track, just like you want to be fly and attract them other hoes and have pimping looking at you, knowing you pimping because he see you and he listen to you spit that game out. Do you, how do you know you about it? Because I'm telling you, get them hoes some little bitty trinket little jewelry. That shit don't cost you nothing. How you know if you're about this game? Okay, here we go again. You got the car. Your car paid for it. Unless it's in the year, it's okay to pay car notes. I told you that in another one of these game pieces, because that's just building up your credit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you in that position. Got the car, got you a nice house that you renting or buying, got each one of your hoes their own place. You got each one of these hoes their own little ride. You got the pink slip each one because you didn't pay cash for that little shit right there. Because you pimping. You been in this game over 3 years and you 3 deep or better. I'm talking to you. You better have some motherfucking toys in this game. Because this game ain't going to last forever. So ask yourself again. Are you about this pimping? Or is it just a fad? Or is it just one big party for you? Which it can be. How do you know that you're about this game? Check your possessions. You're supposed to position yourself in this pimping. Have you positioned yourself? Now those few things that I told you about, those are a few ways to know. We're gonna go over that shit again. You got your ride in order, you got your jewelry in order, because you never know what happened, what might happen. You're in position, you got some money in the bank, but that jewelry is collateral. Pimping, you never know what's gonna happen. You might want to up your ride. You might need a 4-5,000. That's what that jewelry is an investment. How you know if you're about this game? If that jewelry is an investment, if that car is an investment, if you got a nice fly joint with a roof over your head. The hoes got some fly joints, roofs over their head. They got their own little ride. So now it's on your mind. You ready for a business, but you're pimping. So you want to get in business where you set it up. You ain't even got to be there. You making money while you sleep. How you know if you're about this game? If you steady making moves, you steady growing, your life steady growing. You ain't worried about them hoes, because after 3 years, they already a part of you. But you steady popping that pimping on them every day, because hoes forget. Females forget. That's why you keep popping that pimping. You see something on the track that a bitch doing, she out of line. You bring that shit back to your bitch. Not blaming her, but that's just some more food for thought that you giving to this bitch. Baby, I better not never catch you doing what. I saw this hoe doing this shit right there. That's some punk shit right there. Don't bring me no hoes like that home. I had a debate with my pimp partner, Rosebud, the other day, and he was talking about, I was telling him that when you send a hoe to work, her job is not only to get you some money, but her job is also to bring you a hoe home or put that bitch in position for you to knock her. But not no punk bitch. So Bud say, when he send his hoes to work, that bitch got one thing on her mind and one thing only, getting his money. I agree with that. But my pimping, I got to have a multitasking hoe. Because I'm going to keep it on her mind every day before she go out that door about bringing home another hoe. Because that's part of a hoe's job. Or like I say, or set you up with this bitch. You riding by. And every time you ride by, before you ride by, let me back this up. Before you ride by, you get that hoe on the phone. Hey baby, I'm gonna be riding by in a few minutes. That hoe I'm after, I want you to make sure that you walking with her. And when I ride by, you make sure you acknowledge me to that hoe. But I want you talking about it, about what me and you did last night with this hoe. Ooh, baby, we had fun. We did so that bitch. Don't tell me, tell that hoe. Keep it pimping. Give these bitches a mission. This gonna help your pimping. Sure, she ain't gonna holler at every bitch, because a lot of them bitches on the track ain't worth shit. And I want to talk about that also. Now, how do you know you're about this game? Because you got some in-pocket hoes that just get your money. They pass through all them other groups of hoes just to let them hoes know that shit, bitch, I'm on this track too. So they walk through them hoes. They speak to them and keep on moving. And them hoes they walk through, they might not say it out loud because they bitches. But in their mind, them hoes is like, this bitch hoeing right here. I know she got a real pimp. Instead of being out here on the dog, hoes being out here on the dog, being out there on the doggone track, all grouped up and laughing, drinking, smoking weed, twerking their motherfucking asses and shit. Oh, that's cool because tricks like that shit. But what I'm talking about is a hoe got to stay moving, man. Moving, keeping her eyes open. Looking for a trick. Trying to pick out the right trick. Remembering all that game that you didn't send her out the door with and pimping. Do not send no hoe out the door without a smile on her face. Because that might be the last time you see that hoe. Erase all the obstacles that you got in front of you and that this hoe got in front of her before you send that hoe to the track. That's why you're kicking this pimping with them. You're already kicking it with them all day. And then once they get dressed and they sitting around, shit, it's time for a doggone pimp meeting. All right, you hoes sit down. Pimper got something to say. See, when you pimping and you got them hoes together, they all going to work together. Unless one is having a little problem and you want to hold her back and kick it with her. But she's still walking out the door with everybody else. Them other hoes will get dropped off, and you'll be like, hey, I got to talk to this bitch. This bitch will be right back. Y'all get my money. Talk to all them hoes together. That's pimping. You having a pimp's parlay before you send them hoes. And I repeat, pimping. Talk to these hoes, man. If you want to go past 5 years in this game, if you dedicating yourself to this game and this is your life, then you about growing. You want to be pimp free of mistakes. And you know we all make mistakes. But But we want to make them little bitty mistakes that ain't going to affect us at all. Because in this game right here, every mistake with that hoe might cost you your career, or might cost you that hoe. I ain't gonna say you're gonna cost your career, because one bitch don't make a pimp. But it might cost you that hoe where you could have prevented it if you just talk to this hoe. Open your mouth, pimping. You want to know if you about this pimping, then you would be then acquire these toys. You're gonna be then did these few little things that I've told you so far in life, because you steady moving. Every day you're closer to your goal. Set you a goal, whether it be money, car, whatever. But whatever besides clothes in this game that you're spending your money on, make sure that it's worth something. It's all investment. How you know if you're about this game? If you wake up every morning with a smile on your face and a bankroll, you in position to have another hoe. You in position to knock another hoe. You in position to knock another pimp, because you in position. Your hoes got apartments. They got cars. Come on, pimping. I bet you can't count 10 pimps on the track wherever you at that them hoes got cars, that them hoes got apartments. See, a lot of pimps, they spend their whole damn career up and down the highway. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because pimping is a moving game. That's not what I'm talking about. Pimping, you got to be up and down the highway trying to find that honey hole. That ain't what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is have your home base. Shit might be crazy on 3, 4, 5 states. You might want to come closer to home and do pimping. You didn't went from one city to the next city. You pimping, you getting money. But you decide you want a new car. So you fix to take 5, 6, 7,000 and buy that car. You still got a bank, but you want that 7,000 back. So you got to go back home and regroup and just kick back and relax and look around and admire what you got. And you can't admire what you got going to not having no home base, going from motel to motel. Ah, damn. You don't think bitches recognize that? How you know if you're about this game? If them bitches wake up with just you on their mind and getting your money, and them hoes wake up and they ain't got no big problem that's gonna be detrimental to your pimping. That's how you know if you're about this game. And if you're about this game, pimping, you're gonna have some problems in this game sooner or later. This game is a roller coaster, but the secret of it is to get up to the top and don't never come down. You're going to have your ups and downs until you get to where you want to be in life. This pimping game is a building process for your next life. Because I'm telling you, pimping, you keep watching these game pieces. You keep being in them streets every day. You keep learning your trade. You keep growing in your mind besides a motherfucking Cadillac and some jewelry, then you might get some longevity in this game. Because in this pimping game, it don't never slow down, because there's always tracks everywhere. I had this stupid ass bitch in my inbox gonna tell me, oh, That's that old school game. You're going to send these young pimps to the penitentiary by telling them about going from state to state. That's federal time. See, that's why I told that bitch, you know what? You need to stay in your own lane. Because how is a square going to tell a pimp anything about this life? You dumbass bitch. Pimping is a road game. We know pimping is illegal, but a pimp can't be scared. You got to be a man in this game, and you got to be a man first. Now, let's talk about checking pimps on that track. I'm telling you, pimping, before you pimp on any motherfucking hoe, before you hop into this game, and when you hop into this game, one thing you better realize, and that, you know what that is? That you got to be a man in this game. You got to be a man first, because you're going to be tested. Pimping. You around some hungry, jealous, envious ass motherfuckers. Because that's what these pimps are. There's always a few of them in the crowd. And it's always a gang of them, that's throwing rocks at the king and hiding their hand. How do you know if you're about this game? Because when you walk up in the midst of them other pimps, you shining. A motherfucking pimp can look at you and know that you're about this game. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. A pimp is an arrogant motherfucker, but he a man first. And when you walk up in the midst of pimping, you let that shit be known. You pop your collar and you start popping that pimping. But first you're going to listen. You all ears. You looking around. You watching everything. But you really listening. You listening to what the conversation is about. So you can go on and put your pimping in. So you can spit your pimping out. So you can represent your game. How you know that you're about this game? When you're amongst pimps and you get to kicking that pimping and then pimp's ears be standing up like a motherfucking Doberman pincher when he see a cat run through his backyard. You want to know if you're about this game? Because you got a reputation. You getting your respect. You happy, them hoes happy. Them hoes wake up happy. They wake up with a smile on their face when you wake them up. Because every time you wake them up, you sharper than the day before. You got on something new that you didn't have on a week ago. You've been pimping over 3 years. You ain't even supposed to wear the same outfit in a period of 30 days. You want to know if you're about this game? You want to know if you're about this pimping? Then go 30 days pimping and don't wear the same outfit. That's pimping. I'm talking about positioning yourself. I'm talking about positioning yourself to look like a motherfucking millionaire, even though you ain't a millionaire. But you gonna be. Because that's your goal in this pimping. To be on top pimping. To make this life stand for something. To make this life mean something. Because in them streets is hell. That's why stress stacking your bank. Because in this pimping game, ain't no motherfucking retirement plan. It's all on you, pimping. This can be one big party. It can be one big party for 15 or 20 years. Then you're going to be looking stupid because it's over. And all you done had is 20 years of partying and living like a motherfucking king. Oh, that's cool if you just want some memories. Fuck that. Man, after 20 years in the game, shit, I want to be on Easy Street. I'm still going to be fucking with hoes, but I'm going to be on Easy Street. 20 years, shit. I'm going to be then, hey, every dream I had after being in the game for like 25, 27 years, I'm going to tell you, pimping, believe one thing, everything come out of Tay's mouth about this game, it's real. And I keep spitting it to y'all because I just want you to experience. Man, the game is beautiful, man. You can live like a motherfucking king, man. Like I said earlier, every day can be a motherfucking party. But pimping, prepare yourself, position yourself for the future. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have none. Them hoes gonna get older. You gonna get older. You better position them hoes like you position yourself. Them bitches got dreams from 3 to 5 years. You want to know if you're about this pimping? You want to know if you're about them games, about this game? Then you got them hoes in position too. Ain't nowhere in the world after 5 years in this game or better that them hoes ain't position. And you ain't position. Or you better be damn near position. This game is about growing. You want to know if you're about this game? Look around you. Check another pimp's reaction when you walk up in the crowd of other pimps. You want to know if you're about this game? Everywhere you go, pimping, the market, a hamburger stand, restaurant, everywhere you go, pimping, if you don't get action from a bitch, if you don't get eyes on you, if you don't get motherfuckers looking at you, wondering, and you look at them briefly and look away, they wonder, who is this masked man? Who is this suave dressed, arrogant ass walking motherfucker walking like he owned the world? You want to know if you're about this game? When you start getting respect like that everywhere you go, then you know you're about this game. When you can stand on your bankroll and be a foot taller, yeah, then you know that you're about this game. When you take that for rent sign out the motherfucking yard and put that soul sign in there, and you hammer it down yourself, then you know that you're about this game. You want to know if you're about this game? Accumulate you some toys that's worth something. Keep you a bankroll. Be able to look in the mirror and say to yourself, man, I'm banked up, man. Shit, I really don't need none of these motherfucking bitches. But I got these hoes because I like pimping. And I can't be no pimp without no hoe. But I didn't let these hoes put me in position. Position yourself with this money, pimping. Position yourself so you can stand on your money and tell a bitch, fuck you. You got two bitches getting money. You got one bitch that she just don't never meet the criteria. And you keep your foot on this bitch's neck. But the bitch just ain't about it. But you holding on to the bitch, hoping she'll change. But 3 years done passed. This hoe ain't changed. Don't be afraid to fire a bitch. Shit, when they leave, they firing us. You about this pimping, don't be afraid to fire no motherfucking bitch. Stand on your pimping like a rock. Be a man first. Now check this out, pimping. A real important part of this game is on that track. Your whole life evolves and revolves around what goes on that track. So it makes sense, pimping, for you to be on that track if you're about this game. Pimping ain't hiding. Don't go drop that. You in a new town. Don't go drop that hoe off and go back to your room. Pimping. You want to get big in this pimping? You want to knock some other hoes in this pimping? You want a reputation in this pimping to help you knock some other hoes? And you've been in the game at least 5 years? You want to know if you about this game? You better have your toys in order. You better have your life in position, because when you're in position, you can knock any pimp. Because the average pimp is so motherfucking selfish that all he think about is himself. He's so worried about being able to buy that ring that he been paying on. But this bitch been in an apartment for over 6 months. But he ain't thinking about that because he just got his hand out. If you motherfucking pimps just keep having your hand out and ain't doing nothing for these bitches, you ain't positioning these hoes, and you ain't positioning yourself, you just got your hand out, you're going to jail, motherfucker. Or you're going to be broke. You're going to have a fucked up reputation because hoes talk. Then they going to say, that nigga ain't no pimp. Or they going to say, that nigga just a selfish nigga. Or they going to say, that nigga beat me up. He put his hands on me. See, that's what's going to take a lot of you young pimps out the game. Because you're thinking with your hands and your emotions instead of thinking with your mind like a pimp. A pimp think with his brain. A pimp don't think with his hands. A pimp might talk to his hand with his hands when he talking that pimp shit. But a pimp ain't checking no bitch with his hand, with his motherfucking balled up fist pimping. Pimping. Do you know that you can just talk to a bitch so bad and make a bitch break down and cry with conversation? You want to know how you know you about this pimping? When you pimping at a bitch like that. When you pimping at a bitch with your mind. When you pimping out a bitch out your mouth. With your hands behind your back pimping, if you get my drift. So, we got to check a hoe. Because sometimes hoes forget, bitch, I'm a motherfucking man. Bitch, I might have you on Gravy Street. And everything might be fine around you, bitch. But I want respect for my pimping every motherfucking day. And you demand that shit. You want to know if you're about this pimping? Because you getting that respect from them hoes. Them bitches love you. They respect you. But they fear you. Because they know if they get out of line, that they gonna wake that motherfucking sleeping monster in your ass. Then they know they're gonna have a problem. You want to know how you know you're about this game? When your hoes know that you're about this game. They know that every day they gonna see you sharp in a motherfucker with something new on. You think I'm bullshitting, pimping? Buy something new for your ass every day. Just like every day you buy something for that bitch. I know you think I'm bullshitting, but you think of this process right here. You just knocked this bitch. You send this bitch to work. This bitch bringing you 4, 5, 6, 700. Then you send the bitch to work the next day with the same outfit on. Nah, that's some dumb shit. Let the bitch see you growing. That's why I like to wake my bitches up pimping. See, after I break the hoe, if I ain't spending the night with her, after I break the hoe and go home, and the bitch see me the next morning, and I'm waking her up, when the bitch see me, I'm fresh, pimp, fresh in a motherfucker. I'm smelling good. I'm looking good. My motherfucking nails is manicured. My jewelry kicking. I'm sharp and I'm suave like a motherfucker every time I wake this bitch up. Every time this bitch see me. You want to know how you know you about this game? When you waking a bitch like that. When you waking a bitch up and you sharp every day. Every day you making the bitch fresh. Every day you making yourself fresh. You want to know if you're about this game? If you're pimping like that, that's how you know if you're about this game. City to city, state to state, you getting your respect in this pimping. Pimps watching you because they know you pimping. They coming out there on the track, they trying to be like Ike and Mike all alike. They trying to blend in. Pimping don't blend in. Pimping stand up and pimping stand out. You want to know if you're about this game? You want to know how you know if you're about this game? If you standing out on their ass. If you looking like a pimp. If you talking that shit. Letting these niggas know that you're about this game. Sometimes you even starting an argument with a pimp just so you can pop that game on their ass. And it don't even be an argument when we kicking this pimping. It just be a debate. It just be pimps kicking pimping. This is how you get your recognition. This is how you get your respect. From a bitch and from a pimp. Because you're always talking pimping. Everything is pimpish. You want to know how to know if you're about this pimping? If you're doing these things that I've been kicking with you. You're banked up. You housed up or apartment up. You carred up. The bitch carred up. The bitch spotted up. You want to know if you're about this game? If you're doing it like that, that's how you know. Every day you're progressing. Like I say, I check my progress every 30 days. I think that's cool. So every 30 days, check your progress. Check your bankroll. If that motherfucking bankroll ain't grew at least 4,000 every month, then you need to check your pimping. I told you, this game move fast, and you got to move fast with it. Get to acquiring your shit. Get to acquiring your tools. The more tools or toys that you have, the easier this pimping go for you. Because the bitch gonna see pimping. I don't care if she a square. I don't give a fuck where you go. How you know you about this game? When you get that attention. When you get them eyes. Because it's the way you dress. It's the way you carrying yourself. You acting like a man. So check this out, pimping. When it comes to being a man amongst other pimps, you got to stand up. You on this track you on this track every night. As long as the track open, you there. Because it's your job. Can't no pimp start no rumor about your hoe. Because you right there on the track. Nigga, what you see, nigga? Nigga, I'm right there too. I ain't seen shit. You got to stand on your pimp. You can't be afraid to confront another pimp. You got to show that you a man. Because you can use your reputation in one night from another pimp roasting your ass, and you don't come back with some pimping on his ass. Words. Because pimping is a non-contact sport.